Maya walked slowly through the crowded streets of Corvella Prime, fascinated by the colorful and bustling alien marketplace. Everywhere she looked, strange and beautiful items were displayed on stalls, each vendor proudly showcasing goods from various corners of the galaxy. The air was thick with aromas that she couldn't identify, and the sounds of multiple languages blended into an exciting hum. She paused at a stall selling shimmering fabrics, running her fingers over the silky, glowing material. She smiled at the alien vendor, who gave her a polite nod, eyes twinkling with curiosity. Maya continued exploring, her interest in alien cultures leading her to travel far from her home on Earth. Suddenly, a strange sound cut through the crowd's murmur. Maya stopped and listened carefully. It was a sad, mournful cry, unlike anything she had ever heard. It tugged at her heart, pulling her towards the source. Following the sound, she moved deeper into the market, pushing gently through the crowded street until she reached a quieter area near the marketplace's edge. There, sitting alone and hunched in sadness, was an alien mother named Alana. She had smooth, pale blue skin and gentle eyes that were currently filled with tears. Her delicate fingers shook as she clutched a small toy tightly in her hand. "Are you all right?" Maya asked softly, cautiously stepping closer. Alana looked up, startled at first, then quickly relaxed, sensing Maya's kindness. Her expression was filled with sorrow. "My child," she whispered, her voice trembling. "My child is gone." Maya knelt beside her, feeling a deep compassion rising within her. "Tell me what happened," she encouraged gently. Alana took a shaky breath. "We were together, walking through the market. One moment he was beside me, holding my hand, and then suddenly he wasn't. I searched everywhere, called his name, but he didn't answer. I fear something terrible has happened." The alien mother's distress touched Maya deeply. She felt compelled to help, even though she was just a visitor and knew very little about this world. "What does your child look like?" she asked calmly, hoping to reassure Alana. "He is small, with skin like mine, but brighter, almost glowing," Alana said, her voice breaking with emotion. "His eyes are a deep violet. He was wearing a tiny jacket with star patterns." Maya memorized every detail carefully, determined to help find the missing child. "We will find him," she promised confidently, her words filled with hope. Alana looked into Maya's eyes, grateful yet unsure. "But how can you help? You are not from here." "Sometimes an outsider can see things differently," Maya replied warmly. "Maybe I can find clues that others might miss." She rose and glanced around. The marketplace seemed even more overwhelming now, filled with shadows and hidden corners. Maya knew she needed help. Spotting a local security officer standing nearby, she quickly approached him. The officer turned and listened carefully as Maya explained the situation. His name was Ethan, and he immediately showed concern. "Sadly, this isn't the first time," he said quietly. "Children sometimes vanish, usually taken by those who wish to sell them or use them for profit. We must act fast." Maya felt a chill run through her body. She had hoped the child had simply wandered away. Now, the stakes were much higher, and time was crucial. Ethan called for additional security, quickly sharing a description of the child. "We will do our best," Ethan assured her. "But I must be honest, it may not be easy." Maya returned to Alana, explaining gently that they had support and would soon begin a thorough search. Alana's eyes filled with hope, mixed with fear, but she nodded bravely. "Thank you," she whispered, reaching out to touch Maya's hand in gratitude. The simple gesture, though brief, formed a powerful bond between them. Together with Ethan and the security team, Maya began the search, carefully examining each corner of the marketplace. As minutes passed into hours, she refused to lose hope. Her determination was unwavering. Every stall was checked, every alley explored, but still no trace of the child emerged. Just as Maya felt despair creeping into her heart, she noticed something strange near one of the quieter stalls. A small piece of fabric caught on a rough edge of a wooden post. It glowed faintly, dotted with tiny star patterns. Her heart raced. This was a clue, the first real sign they had found. Maya turned quickly to Ethan, holding up the piece of fabric. "He's been here," she said urgently. "We must follow this lead." With renewed hope, Maya, Ethan, and Alana moved forward together, determined that they would not stop until the child was safely back in his mother's arms. Maya held the small piece of fabric carefully, feeling its delicate texture beneath her fingertips. She showed it quickly to Ethan, whose eyes narrowed thoughtfully as he examined it. He nodded firmly, understanding its importance. "Let's ask the stall owner," Ethan suggested, pointing towards an elderly alien vendor with gentle eyes who was carefully arranging beautiful, handmade jewelry on a display. Maya approached the vendor, holding up the fabric. "Excuse me," she said politely. "Have you seen a small child wearing something like this?" The vendor adjusted her large spectacles and leaned forward, squinting closely. She slowly nodded her head. "Yes," she said softly. "I saw him just briefly." A man in a hooded cloak took him by the hand and led him down that alley. She pointed towards a narrow, shadowy path away from the marketplace's bustling center. Ethan and Maya exchanged worried glances. "Thank you," Maya said sincerely, turning quickly towards the alley with Ethan close behind. As they entered the alley, it became quieter, with fewer people around. The vibrant sounds of the market faded, replaced by an uneasy silence. Ethan pulled out a small flashlight from his belt, lighting the darkened path. They moved cautiously, carefully checking each doorway and hidden corner. "Why would someone do this?" Maya whispered, unable to hide the worry in her voice. Ethan sighed deeply. "Some beings see children as easy targets. They sell them, trade them, or use them in ways we can barely imagine. It's horrible, but it happens far too often." Maya felt a tightness in her chest, imagining the terror Alana's child must feel. Her determination grew stronger. They moved swiftly now, determined not to lose any more time. Halfway down the alley, Maya spotted another piece of the star-patterned fabric, this time stuck on a rusty metal fence. Her heart quickened with hope. They were on the right track. Ethan carefully examined the ground, spotting fresh footprints leading toward an abandoned building. "Stay close," Ethan warned softly as they approached the building. It appeared old, its walls cracked and worn. Ethan checked the door cautiously. It was slightly open. With a gentle push, the door creaked quietly inward. Inside, the building was dimly lit, filled with dust and forgotten items. Maya stepped carefully over broken crates and discarded rubbish. Ethan moved forward first, silently signaling Maya to follow him closely. Suddenly, they heard soft murmuring voices from a back room. Ethan motioned for Maya to stay behind while he peeked carefully through a crack in the wall. He turned back quickly, his expression tense. "He's here," Ethan whispered, urgently, "but there are others with him. They seem dangerous." Maya's pulse raced. She knew they had to act quickly, but carefully. "What do we do?" "We need backup," Ethan replied quietly, reaching for his communicator. He called the local security team, speaking quickly and quietly, requesting immediate assistance. As they waited silently, Maya felt an overwhelming urge to look through the crack herself. Carefully, she peered inside. The room was small and dimly lit. She saw Alana's child, huddled in a corner, eyes wide with fear. Two large alien beings stood nearby, speaking angrily to each other. One of them paced impatiently, waving his arms. "Why hasn't the buyer arrived yet?" The pacing alien grumbled, clearly agitated. "He'll be here soon," the other replied calmly, though his voice was rough and unpleasant. "We must wait patiently." Maya's heart twisted painfully at the sight of the frightened child. He was trembling, his tiny hands clutching tightly at his torn jacket. She knew they couldn't wait any longer. "We must distract them," Maya whispered urgently to Ethan. Just enough time to grab the child. Ethan hesitated, then nodded. "All right. You create a distraction, and I'll get the child. Be careful." Taking a deep breath, Maya quietly moved to another entrance of the room, finding a loose pipe lying nearby. She picked it up and banged it loudly against the wall. The sound echoed sharply, startling the two aliens. They turned sharply, heading toward the noise. "Who's there?" one shouted angrily, coming closer to Maya's hiding spot. At the same moment, Ethan quietly slipped into the room from the other side. He swiftly reached the frightened child, kneeling down to comfort him. "It's all right," Ethan whispered gently. "We're here to help." The child looked up, his violet eyes wide with hope. He clung to Ethan tightly, trusting him immediately. Ethan lifted the child carefully and moved quickly towards the exit. Meanwhile, Maya silently retreated, hiding herself as the aliens searched angrily for the source of the noise. She held her breath, staying completely still until she saw Ethan safely exit with the child. Once outside, Maya rushed over, relief flooding through her when she saw the child safe in Ethan's arms. She smiled gently at him, her heart warm with joy. "You're safe now," Maya whispered softly. The child gave her a small, trusting smile, his fear slowly fading away as they hurried back toward the marketplace, determined to reunite him with his mother. Maya, Ethan, and the child quickly made their way back through the narrow alley toward the bustling marketplace. Every step brought them closer to safety, and Maya felt relief washing over her. The small child held tightly to Ethan, his tiny arms gripping securely around Ethan's neck. Despite his recent fright, the child's eyes now glowed faintly with cautious hope. When they finally emerged into the marketplace, they saw Alana pacing anxiously near the spot they had left her. Alana's face lit up when she saw her child, safe in Ethan's arms. Tears of joy flowed freely down her cheeks, her hands trembling as she reached out to take him back. "My child!" Alana cried softly, hugging him tightly. "I was so worried." "You're safe now, my precious one." The little child nestled into his mother's embrace, his eyes closing briefly in relief and comfort. Maya watched this tender reunion with a warm heart. Alana turned towards Maya, her eyes filled with immense gratitude. "Thank you, Maya," Alana whispered. "Thank you for saving my son. You risked so much for a stranger." Maya smiled softly. It was the right thing to do. "I couldn't stand by and watch someone suffer like that. Every child deserves safety." Ethan placed a reassuring hand on Maya's shoulder. "We must report this immediately to ensure those responsible are caught," he advised gently. "We have to protect other children from the same danger." They moved swiftly to the security headquarters near the market. Inside, Ethan carefully explained the entire situation to the senior officers. Maya provided additional details, including descriptions of the traffickers and their location. The security chief nodded seriously, promising to handle the matter urgently. "You have both done well," the security chief said sincerely. "Your bravery and quick thinking saved this child's life." As they stepped outside the headquarters, Maya felt relief mixed with fatigue. The stress of the rescue was now lifting, replaced by deep satisfaction. Yet, as they stood there, they noticed several aliens gathered nearby, staring curiously. News of the rescue had quickly spread through the marketplace. Suddenly, one elderly alien stepped forward, her eyes gentle and curious. She nodded respectfully toward Maya. "Human, we often heard stories about your kind. Today, we witnessed your compassion firsthand." "Thank you." Other aliens murmured agreement, their expressions shifting from suspicion to appreciation. Maya felt deeply touched, realizing how her simple act of kindness had impacted more than just Alana and her child. Seeing Maya's surprise, Ethan smiled warmly. "You have done more than rescue a child today, Maya. You've started to build a bridge between humans and aliens. This kind of trust is priceless." Maya nodded, feeling honored. "Maybe understanding each other better can prevent more harm in the future," she said thoughtfully. After saying their goodbyes, Maya and Ethan walked slowly away from the marketplace. The day's events had bonded them closely, and a sense of mutual respect had grown between them. why did you become a security officer? Maya asked Ethan, curious about her new friend. Ethan paused briefly, considering his answer. I wanted to protect those who cannot protect themselves. Today reminds me why I chose this path. Maya admired Ethan's honesty and courage. And what about you? Ethan asked, turning the question around. Why did you travel all the way from Earth to Corvella Prime? Maya laughed softly. I always dreamed of seeing new worlds and meeting different beings. I believe we can learn so much by understanding others. This experience has only strengthened my belief. Ethan nodded thoughtfully, respecting her vision. They walked on. Quietly for a while, each lost in their own reflections dot as the sun began to set. The city of Corvella Prime came alive with bright lights and vibrant sounds. Maya marveled at the beauty and diversity around her. She felt a deep connection to this alien world, now closer to her heart. Just as they reached the residential area where Maya was staying, Ethan turned to her with a friendly smile. Today was intense, but rewarding. I'm glad we met, Maya. Thank you for showing me that humans have great hearts. Thank you for trusting me, Maya replied warmly. Without your help, we wouldn't have succeeded. Ethan extended his hand, and Maya shook it firmly. They shared a smile, recognizing their bond. Rest well, Ethan said softly. Tomorrow brings new opportunities. Maya entered her lodging, feeling deeply fulfilled. She had faced danger, yet found friendship, respect, and a renewed sense of purpose. Corvella Prime was becoming more than just a destination. It was becoming a place where she felt genuinely connected, eager to continue making a positive difference. The following morning, Maya woke up feeling rested but still filled with thoughts about the previous day's events. The rescue of Alana's child had deeply affected her. She remembered clearly the fear in the child's eyes and the relief that followed when he was safely back with his mother. She knew she had done something meaningful. After breakfast, Maya stepped outside her lodging into the busy streets of Corvella Prime. People were already bustling about, talking and laughing as they went about their daily lives. But today, something was different. As Maya walked, she noticed friendly nods and smiles directed her way from the locals. Some even waved, greeting her warmly. Confused yet pleased by this sudden attention, she continued toward the marketplace. There, Alana was waiting with her child, their eyes bright and happy. Alana approached Maya, her smile genuine and welcoming. Good morning, Maya, Alana said warmly. We have been waiting for you. Good morning, Maya replied with a gentle smile. She knelt beside the child. How are you today? The child smiled shyly, clutching his mother's hand tightly. Better, thanks to you, Alana answered. For him, her voice filled with gratitude. Alana took Maya's hand gently. Many people heard about what you did yesterday. You showed kindness when you didn't have to. We would like to invite you to our home tonight as a way of thanking you. Will you come? Maya felt deeply touched. She nodded quickly, her heart filled with warmth. Yes, of course. It would be an honor. Throughout the day, Maya spent time exploring more of Corvella Prime, fascinated by everything she saw. The city's rich culture amazed her, from the tall, elegant buildings to the beautiful parks filled with lush greenery and exotic flowers. She felt truly grateful to be here. In the evening, Maya arrived at Alana's home, which was small but cozy, filled with warmth and gentle light. Alana greeted her warmly at the door, guiding her inside. Several neighbors had gathered, curious to meet the human who had bravely rescued the missing child. They greeted Maya with friendly nods and welcoming smiles. We wanted you to experience some of our customs, Alana said kindly, leading Maya to a table covered with dishes of delicious-looking alien foods. The aromas filled the room, making Maya's mouth water as they ate together. Alana shared stories about her life and culture. Maya listened attentively, genuinely interested in everything she heard. The atmosphere was friendly and relaxed, filled with gentle laughter and warmth. After dinner, Alana stood, holding a small, beautiful object in her hands. She cleared her throat softly to gain everyone's attention. Maya, we want you to have this, Alana said gently, extending the object toward Maya. It was a delicate pendant shaped like a star, glowing softly. This pendant represents courage and kindness in our culture. It is our gift to you, a sign of our deep gratitude. Maya took the pendant carefully, deeply moved by this thoughtful gesture. Her eyes filled with tears of joy as she looked around at everyone gathered. Thank you so much, Maya said softly. You have all welcomed me into your community, and I feel honored to be here. This pendant means more to me than you could know. Everyone in the room smiled, touched by Maya's sincerity. The evening continued with friendly conversation, sharing stories and laughter. Maya felt completely comfortable among her new friends, realizing how deeply this experience had connected her with these kind and welcoming beings. Later, as Maya prepared to leave, Alana took her aside. You are welcome here anytime, Maya. You will always have friends on Corvella Prime. Thank you, Alana, Maya replied warmly. Meeting you and your community has been one of the greatest experiences of my life. On her walk back, Maya reflected on everything that had happened. She realized how this single act of kindness had opened doors and built bridges she never expected. The pendant she now wore felt comforting, a constant reminder of the connections she had made. Back in her lodging, Maya looked out the window at the lights of the city. She felt a profound sense of peace and purpose. Her heart was full of gratitude for the friendship she had formed and the lessons she had learned. Before falling asleep, Maya promised herself to continue learning and building bridges wherever she went. Her experience on Corvella Prime had changed her profoundly, proving that compassion and understanding could truly unite worlds. The next morning, Maya received an unexpected message. It was from the Corvella Prime Council. They had heard about her actions and wanted to meet her. Maya was surprised but honored. She dressed quickly and headed to the central building where the council met. When she arrived, she saw tall, elegant towers made of shining metal and glass. The place looked important and peaceful. A friendly assistant led her into a large room where members of the council sat in a circle. An elder with calm eyes stood up and spoke first. Maya, we have heard about your bravery and kindness. You helped one of our own when many others would have walked away. We wish to thank you personally. Maya felt nervous but smiled politely. I only did what felt right. I couldn't ignore someone in pain. Another council member, a younger alien with green markings on his skin, leaned forward. Your actions have helped more than you know. There was fear and misunderstanding between some of our people and the humans, but now they are starting to believe in friendship. The elder smiled. We would like to invite you to speak at our Unity event tomorrow. It is a celebration of peace between different species. Would you join us as a guest of honor? Maya was speechless for a moment. She had never imagined being asked to speak at such an event. Yes, she replied softly. I would be honored. After the meeting, Maya stepped outside, feeling both excited and nervous. She walked to the park nearby and sat on a bench, thinking about what she could say in her speech. She wanted her words to be simple but meaningful. That evening, she returned to Alana's home. Alana welcomed her with a warm hug. I heard about the Unity event, Alana said with a bright smile. Everyone is talking about you. You have changed many minds. Maya laughed softly. I never thought something so small, just helping someone, would lead to all this. Alana nodded. Small acts of kindness often make the biggest changes. The next day came quickly. Maya dressed in a simple but elegant outfit borrowed from a local designer. The fabric shimmered slightly and fit the style of Corvella Prime. When she arrived at the Unity event, she saw hundreds of aliens and a few humans gathered. In a large open hall decorated with floating lights and banners. Music filled the air, gentle and calming. People were talking, laughing, and sharing food. Maya noticed children playing, including Alana's child, who smiled and waved at her happily. Finally, it was time for her to speak. A council member introduced her warmly. Maya stepped onto the stage, her heart beating fast. She took a deep breath and began. Hello, everyone. I am Maya. I came to Corvella Prime to learn and explore, but I never expected to be standing here today. The crowd grew quiet, listening closely. When I saw Alana crying, I didn't see an alien. I saw a mother in pain. I didn't think about what species she was. I just knew I had to help. She paused, then continued. We are different in many ways, yes, but we are also the same in the most important ways. We all feel love. We all feel fear, and we all want to protect our children. Maya smiled gently. I believe that kindness can cross any border. If we look at each other with open hearts, we can build something beautiful. When she finished, the crowd began to clap. Slowly at first, then louder. Alana stood up, tears in her eyes, clapping proudly. Even some of the council members looked emotional. After the speech, many people came to speak with Maya. They thanked her, asked questions, and shared their own stories. She was surprised to learn how many people had been afraid to trust before, but now felt hopeful. Later, as the event came to a close, Maya sat beside Alana and her child. They watched the glowing sky together. You've done something amazing today, Alana said. Maya shook her head. We did this together. All of us. The night sky sparkled above them, filled with stars. Maya looked up and smiled. She had come to Corvella Prime as a visitor. Now, she felt like she belonged. Maya woke up the next morning feeling peaceful. The Unity event had gone better than she ever imagined. People had listened to her words, and she saw real change in their eyes. For the first time since arriving on Corvella Prime, she felt like she truly belonged. She took a short walk to the marketplace. The morning sun shined softly on the city's tall buildings and wide streets. Vendors smiled and greeted her kindly. Children waved. Even strangers nodded with respect. Maya could feel the difference. The city felt warmer now. As she browsed the stalls, she noticed Ethan walking toward her. He looked happy. Good morning, Maya, he said. Morning, Ethan, she replied with a smile. How are things? The council sent out a message to all security units. They want to increase protection around the markets. After what happened with Alana's child, they're taking things more seriously, Ethan explained. That's good, Maya said. No one else should go through what Alana did. Ethan nodded. Also, the 2 aliens who kidnapped the child were caught. They were trying to leave the planet, but were found at the spaceport. They won't hurt anyone else again. Maya felt a great weight lift from her chest. Justice was being done. It gave her hope for the future. Later that day, Alana invited Maya to visit a nearby school where both alien and human children studied together. The school had heard about Maya's story and wanted her to speak to the children. Maya agreed happily. When they arrived, the students were already waiting in a large open room. Their faces were filled with curiosity and excitement. Some were human, others were of many different alien species, but all of them looked eager to listen. Maya stood at the front and began speaking in a calm and friendly voice. I came here to explore and learn just like many of you, she said. But something unexpected happened. I met a mother who had lost her child. I helped her, and that changed everything. It brought people closer together. The children listened closely. One little girl raised her hand. Were you scared? She asked. Maya smiled. Yes, I was scared, but I didn't let fear stop me. Sometimes doing the right thing feels scary, but it's still worth doing. Another child, a boy with green skin and large eyes, spoke up. Did the mother say thank you? She did, Maya said, smiling warmly. She didn't just say it. She showed it in her eyes, in her hug, and in how she welcomed me into her life. After her talk, the children clapped, and some came forward to give her small drawings they had made. One showed Maya holding the alien child. Another showed a group of humans and aliens holding hands. Maya was touched by the sweet gestures. The school's head teacher, an elderly alien with long white markings on his skin, shook her hand. You have given these children something powerful, he said. You have shown them that even one person can make a big difference. On their way back, Alana looked over at Maya. You're changing more than just opinions. You're changing hearts. Maya felt proud but also humble. I never planned any of this. I just followed what felt right. That evening, Maya joined Ethan and Alana for dinner at a small cafe near the city's edge. They sat outside, watching the sunset. The sky turned soft shades of purple and orange. Ethan sipped his drink and smiled. What will you do next? Maya thought for a moment. I think I want to stay a little longer. There's still so much to learn here, so many people to meet. I want to keep helping if I can. Alana nodded. You are always welcome. You are not just a visitor anymore. You are part of us. As night fell, the city lights came on, glowing softly. Maya looked around and saw families walking, friends talking, and children laughing. It was a peaceful moment. A moment full of hope. Maya knew there were still problems to solve and work to be done. But now she believed that even in the darkest times, one small act of kindness could start something big. And that was enough to keep her going. A few weeks passed since the Unity event. Maya stayed on Corvella Prime, just like she had promised. During this time, she worked with both humans and aliens, helping them understand each other better. She visited schools, talked at small meetings, and spent time with families. Everywhere she went, people welcomed her with kind smiles. One afternoon, Maya sat in a quiet garden near the center of the city. The garden was filled with soft, glowing plants and gentle sounds of flowing water. It was a place where people came to think and rest. As she sat on a stone bench, she heard footsteps behind her. It was Alana, with her child walking beside her. The child ran up to Maya and hugged her tightly. We came to see you, Alana said. My son talks about you every day. Maya laughed gently and hugged the child back. He is very brave. He helped bring so many people together. Alana sat beside Maya. You have done something rare. You gave hope to many who had none. I want to ask you something important. Maya turned to face her. What is it? I want you to be part of our family. Not just as a friend, but truly. I want my son to grow up knowing that people from different worlds can be like family. Would you accept this bond? Maya's eyes filled with tears. She was deeply moved. Yes, she said softly. It would be an honor. That evening, they held a small ceremony. It was not grand, but it was full of love. Alana's family and close friends gathered. They lit soft lights and shared simple food. Maya stood with Alana and her son, feeling a strong connection. They placed a new pendant around Maya's neck. It was different from the one she had received earlier. This one symbolized family. As the night went on, they sang songs and shared stories. Maya listened to every word, feeling more at home than she ever had before. The stars above sparkled brightly, as if watching over the peaceful gathering. Next day, Maya met with Ethan near the edge of the city. They stood on a high platform that looked out over Corvella Prime. The city stretched far and wide, full of life. I heard about the ceremony, Ethan said with a smile. Congratulations. You deserve it. Thank you, Maya replied. I didn't expect this when I first came here. I was just looking for a new experience. But I found something more. I found people who care. Ethan nodded. Sometimes we find our true path when we least expect it. They stood together in silence for a moment. Then Ethan spoke again. The council wants to start a new program. They want to bring more humans to Corvella Prime, not just visitors, but people who can live and work here. And they want you to help lead it. Maya was surprised. Me? Yes, Ethan said. You have shown what is possible. You turn fear into trust. You help build something new. The council believes in you. Maya thought about it. She looked out over the city and remembered everything that had happened. The cries of a mother, the search through dark alleys, the joyful reunion, the smiles of children, and the ceremony of belonging. She looked back at Ethan and smiled. I accept. Let's build something even better together. In the weeks that followed, Maya worked closely with both the human and alien communities. She helped set up homes for the new families arriving from Earth. She helped solve small problems and celebrated new friendships. More and more humans and aliens began living side by side, learning from one another. Alana's son started school again and often told his classmates stories about his brave human friend. His favorite story was about the day he was saved and how that one moment changed everything. Maya often returned to the garden where she first spoke with Alana after the rescue. It became her favorite place. There, she would sit, think, and remember how one small act of kindness began a journey that touched many lives. She learned that true change doesn't need grand plans. Sometimes it begins with a simple choice to help, to listen, to care. Maya's story became part of Corvella Prime's history. But more than that, it became a lesson for everyone, no matter where you come from or how different you may seem. A kind heart can light the way. And so, Maya stayed not just as a visitor, but as a true part of a world she once knew nothing about. She had come to explore the stars, but she found something even greater a home.